Because you're not exactly right. You're not creating this. Well, they're creating on paper. They're creating a fucking dictatorship. I mean, and you can just read this stuff.
Yes.
So you know, you can read them all. It leads to a dictatorship, and this is what the founding fathers warned us of. So how else do you remedy it if you get somebody of liberty in place? You have to figure out a way that they can't let this thing happen. So either you abolish them and say all executive orders are null and void.
Very first step. The very first step is to put guess who in office?
Ron Paul. Of
yes,
course.
Sir, bingo.
Of course, but my point is, what do we do? Now we got that situation with all of these unconstitutional, horrific laws. You know, you start writing executive orders which presidents do this all the time, that erase previous orders.
And we can negate an executive order. He does not have to. See, one president does not have to abide by the executive orders of the last president.
Right. They usually do, though. They usually do.
That is within their right to do that.
They usually do. They usually keep the orders moving forward.
They usually do. Why? Because they're all run by the same puppet master.
It's all put into it's part of the plan.
Strings.
All right, it's all part of the plan, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You just keep adding a little bit to the pile, you know, and pretty soon the pile's so freaking big you can't go around it or over it. You're blocked.
Yep.
Anyway. I was having a little bit of a boring day until I made this phone call.
Well, that's good. You know, you're actually making me feel a little better, Roger. I'm under the weather today, but I gotta tell you, you know, it's just it's so important to get this information out. I don't know what to say about it. You know, I talk to people. The other day, I was talking to somebody, and again, they talk about this. It's like, well, aren't you afraid? And we talked about that last time. It was like, oh my God,
oh, yeah.
You know, what the hell is these sheeple people that are like, you know, or the ones that ignore it. You know, I say, did you...
Well, but you know how many there are, and you know how I mean, we all deal in Facebook to some level or another, obviously more so some than others, like me. I mean, I have a huge network in Facebook, so I'm there a lot. But I see these people come in, and they have these strange pictures you know aren't them, and they have these strange names you know are not their name.
Oh, the COINTELPRO agents, yeah.
Built around people not finding out who they are, when in fact, in order to get your account to start with, you had to give a cell phone number, you had to give other information, an email address, which is all traceable right back to you. So the only thing you're hiding from is the other people on Facebook, which those aren't really the people you need to hide from anyway.
That's right.
And I am constantly being asked, why is your picture there on your profile? Why do you use your name? Why, when somebody wants to call you, do you put your phone number there? Well, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you on the air so everybody will understand. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm exercising my God-given rights as described by and set forth in the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights and everything else that our forefathers died for. I'm not hiding behind a damn thing. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But they've gotten the mind control has gotten people so frightened or turned off and saying you're crazy. And this slide response that comes coming out, you know, like, oh, these people are nuts, you know, not realizing that we're trying to save their lives.
Well, didn't we talk about the fear last show?
Yeah.
Fear being the biggest control mechanism?
Fear is the biggest control mechanism, no doubt.
Okay, now we have all of these people, and I'm not knocking them. I'm really not.
It's trauma and fear, though. The trauma, 9/11 created the trauma, so the fear is it's easy to tweak the fear because of 9/11, because of that whole fraud. It really, it mind controlled the whole world.
How many people do you know I have 4,700 friends. I don't know how many people in my groups that I know on a chat-to-chat basis, not on an eye-to-eye basis. I probably never meet most of these people. But how many people do you know that you're associated with on Facebook? Do you ever see their face or know their real name? Not many.
Not too many, but quite a few. I mean, some, but
well,
I see what you mean.
You've got the people who use it as a social forum, and if
Right.
you're using it as a social forum, that's fine. But the first time you step into a political group, watch the faces disappear in the names.
Mm.
My mama didn't raise Stone Cold Liberty. Who the hell calls their kid that, I mean, some of the names you see are meant to put forward an idea. The pictures you see are meant to put forward an idea. But that's not who you're chatting with.
Yeah, I actually one time I got a request from someone, and it was funny because I looked at the picture, and the picture said B. It was something in Latin that goes back to the CFR. And it was a symbol with the CFR, so it was basically like a CFR member or something was sending me a friend request. I seen like the picture, so I knew right away it was like someone, a fake thing or.
Well, there's a lot of fake accounts. Chris Freedom Flowers, a good friend of mine, is being terrorized by two people putting fake accounts. He actually had to go to court. Listen to this one, Roger. He did in Montreal. Went to court because somebody actually not only hacked him, but stole his identity and created a Facebook account in his name, and was using it to give disinformation. And he had to go to court.
Yeah,
it happens a lot. They took down his website 16 times. So we're fighting real tyranny. This is no joke. These people are out there, and they have all the you said it yourself. Why hide anything? I don't hide anything. I write it right on there. I'm out to get these criminal banksters that have hijacked our government.
You know what
right
it is?
There, man.
You know what it is, Roger? Is also to add to it is people don't believe in themselves. Is part of the thing. Is like you were saying before about spiritual emptiness and things like that. They've besides the poisoning with vaccines, foods, and chemtrails, like we said, the mind control is that they get everybody to not believe in anything, and by not believing
to doubt themselves.
Yeah,
yes.
Everybody's ashamed of their weight, their looks, their race, their religion, and by everybody not also. What is the one thing that they're allowed to teach in school? Evolution, Darwinism. Again, that you're nothing, that you evolved from nothing. They don't want anybody to believe in anything, and they want you to think everything's stupid, while they believe every day and everything has a meaning, and they do rituals, and they worship stars, and they want us all to think that everything's, not to believe in yourself or that anything's real. And I think that's everybody's biggest problem, is not believing in themselves and being afraid, like you were saying.
Well, I take it one step further than that. It's not so much not believing in themselves as not believing in the guy next to them. That if you're sitting on the couch with three people and you're sitting in the middle, they want you to wonder about the guy sitting on either side of you. They want you to wonder if he's a good person, if he's breaking the law when you're not looking, if he's a terrorist, if he's... It's not so much... But I do agree, they don't want you to have confidence in yourself, but they want you to question all the other people around you.
Well, yeah,
because if you don't question the people around you and you start to build bonds with them, what you end up with is something like We the People Network. You end up with something where you have a large group of people who are awake and say, screw you, this is a pack of bullshit and I'm not taking this anymore, and you become a danger to them. So they need you to be uncomfortable with everybody around you.
I agree 100%. Yeah, they don't want you and your neighbors coming together and forming, like you said. They want you afraid of your neighbor, so you and your neighbor aren't helping each other out.
Exactly, and it's such an easy thing to understand. That
divide and conquer. Yeah,
it's dividing and conquer. Exactly, it's textbook.
Hey, when I was a kid growing up in the 50s and the 60s, I'm going to tell you that every single one of my neighbors was friends with neighbors. There were block parties. Everybody had a great time. We socialized. The kids all played together. Walk down the street of a lot of average neighborhoods in this country nowadays. Half these people don't even know their neighbors, or they're afraid of their neighbors, or they're scared of their neighbors, or they don't talk to their neighbors.
That's right.
And this has all been conditioned
Absolutely.
into people.
Social control.
It has.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Like you said, to be afraid of your neighbor, and also the comfort that they've given us, to where everybody's got central air conditioning and 1,000 channels and a personalized phone and everything. So
that's part of making you a sheeple.
That's part of keeping. That's part of just keeping you sated. You know, just keeping you satisfied. You know, keeping you
entertained.
Feeling actually keeping you entertained. Really, truly helping you to embrace your slavery because you actually love it. Like Aldous Huxley said, you actually love your servitude. You embrace it. You know, that's what.
Why the hell would I want freedom if I've got to go out and do things for myself? Why can't I just sit here, collect my Social Security or my unemployment or my welfare check and watch 1,000 channels and listen to any music I want, anytime I want, go on the internet, get all the porn I want? Why do I even have to move out of my house? Why do I need friends? Why do I need to socialize?
Why do I need to talk to my neighbor?
Great point.
That's it.
Great point. And why do we have to spread this information? You know, I'm going to just go over a couple of quick little news blurbs here I had that we could put some commentary on, Raj. Listen to this.
Yes, sir.
In North Carolina, if you recall, this is, again, the first state. Now, this is going to come out because it happened in every state. The eugenics is starting to come a little bit to the surface now. We have to tie this into the chemtrails and the food and everything else, and the fact that cancers are on the rise. And the cancers that are on the rise are all affected by fluoride, while cancers that are going on the diminishing are because people have stopped smoking. So when you took the correlation, you can see that there's a rise in cancers, like from fluoride, for example, bioaccumulating. Again, Dr. Blaylock went over this, and it bioaccumulates over time in your arteries, causes arterial sclerosis even. Isn't that interesting? Over time. But worse than that, it causes kidney as well as
it causes renal failure.
Renal failure, kidney cancer, renal cancer, and I was saying another thing, renal cancer, and of course pancreatic cancer, the deadliest of them all. So while lung cancer and heart is, lung cancer is going down, and so a couple of other cancers are going down. These are on a steep rise. And now we also find out that with them putting stuff in vaccines and sterilizing and medically sterilizing people, that went on not that long ago. In North Carolina, the task force that recommended a $50,000 settlement for each of the remaining sterilization victims, we forget that not very long ago, up to 1974, between 1929 and 1974, 7,600 people in North Carolina were sterilized, medically sterilized, surgically, many of them against their will. The state apologized for the sterilizations in 2002, and now they're giving each of the victims that remain and their families $50,000. Now, this is gonna, come on. Why, you think it stopped in 1974? They went covert.
That the ability for me to have a kid that could be my legacy, that could be my lineage, that could carry my name on and on and on for the next 5,000 years, that my family tree dies here because somebody else decided for me that I shouldn't have kids.
Well, and then what's good about this, I'm trying to bring to light about this, what's sick, I shouldn't say good, it's sick, is obviously, this is sterilization, so that stopped. We don't do that anymore. So then the sheep will think, you see, that was a long time ago. They wouldn't let that happen again. So they do it covertly now. They do it stealthily, like everything else. What Hitler could not achieve by force, the globalists are now achieving by stealth in so many different ways. Now listen to this one. Chemical found in deodorants. By the way, that was from CNN, that last article by Deborah Goldschmidt from CNN, just to reveal my source. And then chemical found in deodorants, facial food products discovered in all tumors of breast cancer patients. So the fact is that these parabens were present in so many of the breast tissues, samples further does justify further investigation. A chemical widely used as a preservative. Listen to this. A preservative like polysorbate 80, which is a sterilant. They put that in food. All right.